Today, we actually have a really awesome presentation for you today, and it's turning listings to gold. Without further ado, I am going to introduce one of my business partners and great friends, Tracy Frans. Tracy is a team leader in the Omaha, Nebraska area. She's the #1 team in Nebraska. She is a 6-time icon agent. I put 5. I forgot you made 6. She was voted the #1 agent, best of Omaha, and she is an RPAC Hall of Famer. And she is a speaker that has been asked to come back, and she's been requested over and over. So I'm just going to ask you guys to be fully engaged, because if you want to turn your listings to gold, and if you want less stress and more success, Tracy is here to drop some value bombs.
Ooh, thank you, Tanya. Well, I'll tell you guys, I just woke up today with a little bit more energy because this is my jam. This is what I live for. And if you don't like what you're doing, why do it? So, it's one of those things moving forward with the new market coming our way, the new changes. It's about relighting that fire. It's about being in the right circles at the right bonfire with the right people with that fire just burning. And I might have a little extra energy for you today. So all I ask is hopefully take a little bit of that away and be able to really, make 2024 that epic year where you truly get more in every aspect of your life. And to me, when I'm combining, just my goals with my overall personal life, it's like, all right, you look at this as a map. Everybody has a map in front of them of where they want to go. And for me with the business, it starts with listings. That is what navigates me to where I want to go. You list, you last. And today I'm going to drop some golden nuggets. We're going to start off with pricing. Every seller right now, how many people have sellers that just think their home is worth so much more than what an appraiser might want to give them today? Anybody dealing with that? Ugh, I know I'm dealing with it daily. And so we're going to go into some pricing strategies. We're going to go into negotiations. Even in the last 7 days, I've used negotiation terms that I have never seen in our market before. It is time to adapt. It is time to put yourself in the circles of the real players that are strategizing and getting the deals done. This Monday, what are we? I don't even know what month it is. Dang, I can't even keep up. All right, we're June, right? Coming into this Monday, I had 3 closings back to back to back just this Monday, put together new deals yesterday. And honestly, guys, it's like there's so many people right now that aren't even be able to put gas in their gas tank. It's because I'm putting myself in the right circles and I'm doing what works and I'm playing smarter. And it's not necessarily harder. We're in our pool most of the time on my calls. So what I challenge you today is just basically you've got to do it. And when we go into, I'm going to give you some pieces of the staging of what I really see transitioning in our market to make you stand out. And then we're going to end on some golden nuggets of how do you produce leads before you even open up the doors to the public on your listing. So let's dive in real quick with pricing. If you want to go on next, Tanya.
Yep.
So with the pricing, here's what we're going to do on the pricing, okay? When it comes down to pricing, and keep going, we got one more. Let's go. Pricing to me, it's everything, you guys. You overprice, you're never going to get that moment back. So how do you pass this information on to your clients? How do you get that messaging through to them to get the results that you want? First, is it ever you that's pricing that home? If you're going to go in and give those prices and kind of give that range to that seller initially, is it really you or is it the market that's determining that pricing? I challenge you moving forward, never ever say I think it should be priced this. I think, Mr. Seller, you should price it at this. I see it selling for this. It's the market, you guys. Remove yourself Everything is the market is doing this. The market is giving the prices on the recent solds on this. The appraisers in the market are taking the last 3 comps that have sold in today's market to determine what your current market value is. So it's that verbiage. You got to tweak that verbiage in order to establish that credibility and be that expert. And when it comes down to it, I'm always removing myself saying, all right, Mr. Seller, a good thing is a lot of times I'll start off with, it's like you've established this rapport, you're going in for the kill on how do you price this home. Why not just ask them first? Hey, Mr. Seller, if an offer showed up on your doorstep today, what would be an offer that would make you smile and make you excited to move on to the next goal in life? And then, like I like to say, you shut up. It's like half the time they're going to give me a number. Half the time they're going to say, hey, that's why I have you here. Awesome. 50% chance you might get them to talk and give you your number and you can gauge it from there or get an idea in their mind. So if you don't ask, you'll never know. So now, great. Hey, you want me to price it out? Awesome. That's why I'm here. I'm going to educate you on exactly what the market's doing, what I'm seeing in the market. Ultimately, Mr. Seller, you're going to be the one that decides the price in the end. This is your home, your investment. I'm going to be here to guide you on if this was my home, this is how I would price it. And I'm going to price it to net you the highest price in the shortest period of time with little or no inconvenience to you, Mr. Seller. Does that sound like a plan? Yes, right? And now it's like, now you got to show them. So this is a graph, old school, you guys. I've been using this graph for 20 freaking years because it's not rocket science. It's math, right? If you pick a market price of a market value and you go in the middle of that pyramid, you go slightly above, you go 10% above that, you just lost 20% of your buyers just from going 10% above the market value. You want to go 15% above market value, Mr. Seller? You're going to lose another 10% of the buyers out there. So, Mr. Seller, my goal is how do we create the most interest, the most activity in the shortest period of time and drive everybody together in order to leverage you the best terms, the best price in the end. So, Mr. Seller, if we can find that price that just tests that line, test that envelope in order to net you the highest price, but yet be able to potentially put you in a position to be supported by an appraisal. Because, Mr. Seller, you know what it comes down to? 90% of the offers are going to have a loan. So 10%, I might get cash. I might get lucky. We don't have to have an appraisal, right? But no matter what terms I negotiate for you up front, we got to pass that appraisal. So my goal is, how do I prepare you to get that highest price, get those best terms, and then get through that appraisal right now by negotiating those terms? Now, some things with the negotiations on the actual like ways that we're structuring this. I'm going to give you guys some things that we're seeing right now. Okay, let's go on to the next one. There is going to be, I want to show you guys, this is just, again, another graph that I have in my listing presentation, just because it's just, again, math. I like to refer it to prom. It's like when you take a home to the market, that first moment that you're taking it to the market and you're opening up those doors, you are never going to get that moment back. You can never go back out those doors and come back in and get that same moment from everybody in that gym that was waiting to see what you were going to wear, what you look like, how you presented yourself. You'll never get that moment back. You have to do the work up front. And you're 1 day on market, you're 4 days on market, your leveraging is going to be so much more powerful than 4 weeks. So it's like you got to make that moment work. Now, go on to that next slide. Now, we get this all the time. This is like gold, you guys. I want you guys to get this script, take a photo if you want with your phone right now. Please take a picture of this because this was just passed around in our circle in the last week. This is magic, you guys. How many sellers do they go, well, should we price the property a little higher? Because the buyer can always make an offer. Well, hey, I completely understand that line of thought. That makes logical sense, seller, right? I'm supporting them. I'm supporting their comment that they want to go higher. They can always make an offer. And they will eventually make lower offers, but those lower offers, they won't come until you are old on market. Then went on, I had some data with some basically some homes that have sold here in the recent 2 weeks. So I was able to kind of bring in the comps. You will see here homes are selling at the asking price or even above in the early going. Now, it is not until you're old and a tired listing with no negotiation power that sharks come out and they start making those lower offers. So remember, every day on market is a day the home is proven to be not worth its asking price. Your power as a seller is up front. And if it slowly erodes every single day that you stay on market, seller goes, what do you mean? Well, hey, Mr. Seller, let's put your buying cap on for a moment, okay? Imagine you're looking to buy a home. You see one you really like, right? And it's been on the market for 5 days. Now, imagine you see one, you like it, but it's been on the market for 50 days. You differently. How would you negotiate those homes? Are you going to negotiate them the same? 50 days on market, 5 days on market. Are you truly, as a buyer, going to negotiate that the same? Absolutely not. The first home you're going to be thrilled to get into before someone else does. That second home, it's already proven to not be worth its asking price. So you're going to see how low they can go, right? How low. When I'm a buyer's agent, that thing's 50 days on market. It's how low will it go? So if you guys can make them see this, believe it, put them in that other position, this is just, I feel like gold. Does anybody raise your hand right now if you think the next time that they basically say, hey, should we go a little higher because they can always make an offer? Who feels confident with this verbiage to put them in their place and move them forward? Memorize it, get it down, be ready to go. All right, go on to the next one. Now, here's another thing too, is moving forward with everything that's going to be changing in the market, we need more visuals. We need to show our credibility. We need to show our value. And when it comes to pricing a home, they're going to want to know commission, right? They're going to want to know, they're going to want to know what you offer as a value of a listing agent. And so what we're doing is we're starting to create these graphs where you basically got to have a visual of giving them the choice. Give them the choice as if they want to be like a flat fee offer, if they want to know MLS, if they just want you to ask investors around you in a circle if they would want to make an offer, if they don't want you to touch it, if they don't want you to stage it, if they don't want you to do any repairs, if they want to go as is. Give them as many options, because the last thing you want is another agent to come in and give them options when you could have gave them options as well. So we'll provide this where you guys can edit it, kind of create your own. Now, also when it comes down to pricing, you guys, we're not in the 1980s anymore. Please do not price a home at $399,000 and miss every single buyer from 400 to 450. You have got to work the algorithm. You got to work the internet. You got to work how our searches are being designed. So if I'm on the fence of a price and like I'm calculate now, let's say I'm getting like 346 on kind of an RPR report or my Zestimate or running all the comps. And I'm like, okay, 346. Is it going to be smarter to price that home at 345,000? Or is it going to be smarter to price at 350,000, double your buyers pool and get every single buyer from 300 to 350 and 350 to 400? So do I want to price at 346, 345, or 350? No brainer. 350, double your buyers pool, get out in front of as many buyers as you can, and really expand to the masses. The trick is how many people can you get this damn house in front of? How many people can you serve this in order to spark their interest? So really, it's that chess game on that pricing. Give them the option, give them the range, and yet You guys got to make sure you're giving them options so they're not going on to another agent. They're not moving on to something else somebody else planted in their head of a flat rate by another company. You got to deliver every single thing possible in your toolbox. Let them decide, let them think you have the power, but lead them to where you want to go. All right, go on next. Now, one thing when you're negotiating, let's kind of, it's like now we got the pricing. You've been able to kind of show your value, give them different options on, what your value is going to be on commissions. Now, when it comes to negotiations, half of my buyers and half of my sellers, usually I'm working with them on both ends, unless they're relo, a first-time homeowner, or they're maybe going in an assisted living home. One deal typically turns into two, correct? We love our move up, our move down clients. Now, number one thing I am always trying to do when I get a lead is, if I got somebody, let's say a week and a half ago, I'm at my girls' softball game. I have plastered to that whole softball team that I am a real estate agent. I'm your real estate expert. I'm busy. Even if I'm not busy, I'm faking I'm busy. I get one of the daughters who has a split entry. She's bringing her, it's like she's bringing her little stroller. They got a new baby. They're in a split entry, busting through the seams. The grandma's like, yeah, my granddaughter, they just had their other baby. They got their split entry. They're busting through the seams. They're thinking about moving. Okay. I go up casually. Hey, nice to meet you. I've heard awesome things. Congrats on your growing family. Heard you might, be lacking on storage. Tell me more about, just your life and where you guys are headed right now and your goals. So she opens up, right? Oh, yeah, the storage. It's horrid. We're just busting through the seams. My first job is get in their property. I don't even care what they're thinking of buying. I don't care about the price. I don't care about anything except getting in the door of their initial home, build the rapport, figure out the math of their equity. I got to figure out the game plan of how I'm going to move all these chess moves. And the first thing is going to start with their equity, their current home. So all I got to do is schedule a tour, get in their damn home, get that relationship moving forward and get in front of them. So then we go and we sit down and, I'm figuring out what their equity is. And then it's flip the switch. Now I've gotten the tour. I know what their equity is. I know what they got to do to have it ready. I've done a little cheat sheet. Now I got to make them visualize that new home, get them excited, paint a picture of what their new kitchen's going to look like, that pantry, paint a picture of that closet space they're going to be walking into. I got to make them feel it, see it, smell it. And it's like one of those things, if I get them to truly believe the new life they can live, now I'm already in their home. I'm sitting at their table. I know I can sell this thing all day long. Now I got to get them excited. Now, damn, when you're freaking on the buying side and lining up all these dominoes and they're looking at existing homes, now I got to structure this. I got to beat out other buyers in a bidding war in order to be able to list their home. All right, how am I going to do this? If you're not using an offer summary page like this, please put this on your to-do list. Agents are busy. Agents are not organized. Agents are on the move. Agents are what? In 6 different places throughout the day with 6 different remote offices on the go. Make this beautiful. We found a home, okay? We found a home. It was one other offer was in. I got probably 6 hours to position them on getting this home. I've negotiated the terms. I'm getting the signatures, but before I get the signatures, before I get all this to the listing agent, I am building that relationship with that listing agent. I am making them truly believe I have the best candidate. I am going to make this the smoothest deal. What are those terms that seller is looking for? Because all I want to know is, what does that seller want, Mr. Agent? Because I want to give it to him. What is that seller need on a closing date? What is most important to them? And guess what, Mr. Agent? I will be in touch with you shortly because they are super excited and I want everybody involved to win-win. So I'll be in touch. Now, I don't want them to forget about me. I got the terms. We've negotiated it, but they're signing it. Their electronic signatures are all getting jacked. They don't even know how to use their computer. So agent hasn't got my terms yet. All I'm doing too is I'm giving him this pretty little text. It's on his phone. It says exactly what I'm going to come in at. Hey, Mr. Agent, my sellers, one of them got it signed. The other one's having trouble. I'll have it to you in a few minutes. Just wanted you to know exactly the terms that we've already discussed, and they're super excited to present your actual seller. Here it is on a silver platter. You don't have to go through 15 pages, Mr. Agent. You don't have to have your buyer or seller go through 15 pages. I put it all on one damn sheet on your text right in front of your nose. And guess what? All I'm asking is, if this isn't the terms they want, let me know. Let us know what they're looking for and how this speaks to them. Because guess what? I present this, and notice on this, you guys, what did I put on escalation?
Unlimited.
Who's used an unlimited escalation before? Right? Anybody? So what unlimited's doing is I'm telling my buyer, hey, Mr. Buyer, you know, if this home's priced at this home was priced at 355, okay? And it was on the market for a day, unfinished basement, no third car garage, not a custom home, more of a community builder, but it was nice. Only going against one other offer. So the main thing is I asked my buyer, I'm like, hey, buyer, okay, you know, they priced it right on, right? It looks like they priced it pretty aggressively. The cabinetry, everything, like, is there anything improvements wise that you think you would need to do in the meantime? No, everything's like move-in ready. And yeah, it's priced really aggressively. So if this house, it's listed at 355. If this house went to 360, would you at least want a chance to say yes or no, Mr. Buyer? Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, what if this house went to 365, Mr. Buyer? Would you at least want a chance to say yes or no? Yeah. What if this house went to 372? Would you at least want a chance? Yeah. What about 375? I think 375 would probably be my top. Okay, cool. So if this house went to 375 and you were the one selected, you'd be excited to move forward. Yeah. Okay. Now, what if it just went to 376? Would you at least want a minute to say no, or is that out of your comfort zone? I'd probably just at least want a minute to think about it. Okay, well, cool. Well, what if we position you this way? We know you got leverage. We know you kind of got this comfort zone of what you want to end at. What if we put unlimited, 1,200 over any other offer, and at least at the end of the day, if it goes to that 376, Mr. Buyer, would you at least want the chance? Does that sound like a plan to move forward? Okay. I present this. I forgot a gap appraisal, you guys, on this. I'm human. I've been doing this for 20 years, right? I forgot a damn gap appraisal. The other party, 10K gap appraisal. Guess who called me first? Guess who found out about the 10K gap appraisal before the other party knew what my terms were? Me. That agent selected me to have the option to go ahead and match that other offer. As he's talking to me, he's like, hey, you know, I even got a better idea. What if instead of doing a 10K gap appraisal, he tells me this. He goes, what if you offer $10,000 in closing cost help and we keep the price at 357? 357? I didn't know what the other offer was at, you guys. I had no clue. What did he just tell me? He just told me the other party went to 367 and I am in the driver's seat. He just told me, what if you do 357 and 10K in closing costs? Would that be something your buyer would want to move on? Have I already got my buyer to say yes up to 375? I already closed them down, you guys. I'm just trying to negotiate the best terms because I already know my leverage. I know what the window I'm working in. I go, hey, let me call them real quick and I'll be right back with you. But I think this would be a major win-win for all. And when you look at it, they were relocating. They were worried about their capital gains because they had lived there for a long time as sellers. They were worried about the appraisal. My buyer is worried about the taxes because it's a high tax levy. So if we drop that price from 367 to 357, he's going to get a lower tax assessment potentially because they're not seeing the 10K credit. Then me and the other agent, we're living decent. Is our life going to change if our commission changed by a few dollars from 367 to 357? Do I want to get paid at the end of the day? Do I care about those few dollars? I'm trying to better serve my clients. I'm working 100% referrals. I'm building the respect of the agent, the sellers, and the buyers. Everybody won. That other party, they never had an option to match me. I closed it down. I staged their home yesterday. Their home is on the market as of this morning. I am now up to 6 showings this morning. And it's all because I wrote that word unlimited to give us an opportunity. So what just went on a light bulb in my mind now is I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, here we go. 60 days out, right? August, we're all going to be negotiating commissions. I mean, we're taking our negotiation 2.0 skills. And if you don't take your negotiation power up to a 4.0 in August, bye-bye. You know, the 20% of the agents that sell 80% of the homes, and you know those 80% agents that aren't selling any homes, bye-bye. You guys have to decide right now, are you going to be in the top 20%? Are you going to survive in 60 days with your negotiation skills? Otherwise, there's the door. Go back to the W-2 world. And I'm just being honest. We've all been having strategy meetings on if people can't get through 1.0 negotiation, if they can't get through 2.0, there is no way. How do they get to 4.0 come August on these different layers of negotiations we're going to have to make? Start now. Now, this $10,000 in closing costs help. Do you guys think if I have a offer I'm going to make in the next week and I had an option to do this, or I had an option to now slightly adjust this and go in and offer 10K to my next seller as a buyer's agent, which one do you guys think is going to stand out? Who is negotiating 10K in closing costs right now? First one I've ever seen. In 60 days, how many are we going to start seeing on the commissions being negotiation? Start now. Start being that person that starts to be the change in your market. Be the agent that's standing out. Be the agent that has terms on this offer summary that nobody's ever seen before to give your candidates the best opportunity to have the opportunity at the end to say yes or to say no. I write these on earnest deposit to be collected after all parties have accepted all the terms. So if I get that call and my buyer, they're like, dude, 392, Tracy, let's run the other way. Cool. I don't even want you to buy this damn home at 392. I call that agent. I'm like, hey, wow, it was so close, but it just came down. I ran the new numbers at 392. It's just slightly above their comfort zone. But damn it, I am so thankful for you guys giving us the opportunity. And I just hope that you can keep us as a backup offer if anything falls through. And thank you for the opportunity. I am so excited to circle back with you on the next deal. Your communication has just been absolutely amazing. And you are the agents that I want to work with moving forward with our adapting market. So be that person, serve it up, keep it easy, play this game like a chess game. What are the terms that are going to put everybody in a position to be the most excited? Now, another thing on negotiations, you get a lot of people that are like wanting an inspection, right? That maybe don't even know what a damn inspection is. They don't even know how much it costs. Their mom just told them they need an inspection, right? What if you start going about inspections where you go, hey, Mr. Buyer, if we can position you to have a home inspection, if we don't have any other offers we're competing against and we can get these terms, I would absolutely love to get these terms. Now, for that $500-$600 that you're going to invest in an inspection and potentially that inspector miss something or just have to protect his liability by, filling out his forms. If there was another buyer that waived the home inspection, is there any way that you would want to put that $600 of a home inspection and put it towards repairs moving forward and go ahead and remove that home inspection only if another party removes it? Would you at least want the opportunity to move forward on this home? If another party removes the home inspection, would you at least want that opportunity to remove it as well? Well, maybe. I probably at least want a chance, right? So then put the damn inspection in the first term, have an escalation where buyer will remove home inspection if another competing offer does not have a home inspection included on their offer. Offers the competing offer to be delivered to the buyer's agent just as proof within 24 hours. Make them deliver it to you, make them show you if somebody else removed it and they had competing terms. But it's like one of those, protect your buyers, put those things in there. But if you know that there's a chance somebody else might come with better terms, remove that in the escalation to at least give them a chance. So then you're not telling them not to give a home inspection. You're just saying, hey, if the boxing gloves are on, we'll remove it if someone else does. And the other option that we're
Would
doing
you add
too,
it here? Would
yeah,
you, this is the offer just for those that hopped on. So basically you put this after talking to the listing agent, you send this over in a text, and then you might put, remove the inspection. Hey, we had a great conversation. This is what the offer is going to look like. I'm getting all the signatures, right? This is what you're telling us.
yep.
And then here is where you would put that, the inspection.
Well, you're going to have to protect yourself in verbiage. So go to the next. I had my, I think I threw up an addendum to show you guys
Okay,
an
so before we
escalation.
go to the next, for people that are in the Grow Network, do they get these templates from you?
Yeah, I have them all. And we're constantly updating them. And we also have appraisal checkoff lists. There's extra steps that we're taking in order to basically put appraisers in a position where we're doing their work for them before they even come. You guys, appraisers, they're lazy, they're tired, they're cranky. And the last thing I want to do is have 3 deals coming down to one damn appraiser that wakes up on the wrong side of the bed the day when he has to go and appraise one of my homes. So we try to position our escalations to protect that and to make sure that you're negotiating all those terms so you know if that happens, what's going to happen and where everybody's at in the escalation game. So if go to the next one, Tanya, let's see if they're, I think, okay, here is like a multiple offer escalation. Can you blow that up a little bit? This is a form too. We can definitely share with you guys, but you'll find everything in real estate. You always got to dot your I's and cross your T's. So that offer summary, that's more of a visual for the agent and for the people on the other side to know what your offer is, so they don't have to search and they don't have to hunt for it. And it's so you're standing out. Now, this is going to be what I'm going to put with my offer to make it official. So it's like, you'll see I bumped that price up just $5,000 to give the seller just a little respect. So we wouldn't come in, right at listing. I just bumped it up a touch. So I went in, it was priced at 350, went in at 360, did the unlimited 1200 over any other offer. Now, if you go down to number 2, Tanya, can you scroll down just a touch? This is where I'm like, hey, if another competing offer waives a radon or waives a home inspection, we'll waive it. Or if another person does this and offers a gap appraisal, we'll do it. Make up your own terms of what's trending in your market and don't leave it out. It's like you have to protect yourself to give your clients every single opportunity possible. So honestly, you guys, even if I don't have another offer I'm going against, can that change in a matter of 6 hours? By the time I get my offer up and in DigiSign, all my clients have signed, we now got it over the agent. Could there have been another offer that snuck in the meantime? Should I have this conversation up front so I don't have to worry about 5 hours later there's now an offer, but I already negotiated all the terms without an offer. Now I got to call my client back and do this all over again. Hell no. I'm going to do this up front. I'm going to say, hey, let's position ourselves this way with the offer, but just in case another offer comes in, do you want to put yourself in the best position, Mr. Buyer, in order to have the best opportunity? Throw these on right from the get-go. And it's like one of those things where you just have to be prepared for what anything could possibly go your way. And then Laura, let's see. I think I just saw a question. How do you require proof? So I will actually just write on the regular purchase agreement. We have paragraph 10 is where ours is at in Nebraska. That's where it's kind of like a blank paragraph that you can write your own terms in on the purchase agreement. I will put listing agent to provide competing documentation of other offers to buyer's agent within 24 hours of acceptance. All I'm asking is give me a quick snapshot. I trust you, Mr. Agent, but I have to protect my clients first. So I just want to give them verification that this is where it ended and this is where it went. And so it's one of those where just make sure you're asking for proof, because you want to it even makes the buyers feel good. You know, they can see that other offer, they can feel it, they know they're not getting taken advantage of, and they know where that ended. Does that make sense? Yeah. And on here, another little tool too, what I've been doing is okay, like tornadoes in Omaha. I mean, man, we're getting hit all the time, right? I don't know one house from the next on a block. If one's gotten hit, the next has gotten missed. So one thing I'm doing is, instead of having sometimes a $600 home inspection on the table, I'm like, Mr. Buyer, what if we remove the home inspection, but we go right to the biggest ticket items? What if we make it contingent upon a roof being insurable? That forces the seller to make sure the roof is insurable, or they got to get somebody up there. And I also go to the HVAC. Instead of paying an inspector $600, that's not even an HVAC expert, those are some of those big ticket items. I just say, hey, have sellers basically service, repair, or replace HVAC as recommended. Now I don't have to pay for it. Now the seller doesn't have to deal with 6 hours of an inspector going through their damn attic. All they got to do is call an HVAC guy, come in, service it quick, make sure everything's looking good. Initial, if there's a major issue, my buyers are protected and they'd be liable anyway. So it's like one of those things where sometimes just skip to those major items if you're in a situation, and just be specific. Most important, make sure roof is insurable. Number 2, make sure you got working HVAC units. Save the $600. Save that damn inspector who has to just read everything from a damn manual and miss shit on my own house after giving them leads for 10 years anyway. Like, I mean, seriously, guys, I give leads to an inspector for 10 freaking years on my own home. He missed mold. I mean, it was just like, I'm like, really? I mean, here I've given you business for 10 years and it's my own damn home, and he missed so many things. It's overrated. I want to protect the major items instead of giving somebody $600 for them to put their damn stamp that they came through the home and had to protect their license for liability. So just be smarter, be strategic, put your people in the best position. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, let's go on to the next. All right, you guys ready for the trick of staging? Here we go. This is something, you guys, it's one of those, I hate ugly houses. I'm just going to be honest. And ugly houses in today's market moving forward, they're not selling. Let's just be all honest. 2-3 years ago, they were selling. Right now, if it's not properly marketed, if it's not properly staged, it is not selling. Who wants to spend $5,000 on staging? Not me. I mean, honestly, guys, I don't even want to spend $500. I'm a cheap ass. And no matter how much money I make every year, my cheapness remains on just the natural ability. I can't fight it. So here's going to be the stage.
I can attest to that.
It is.
You get creative.
It's one of those, you can make it fun, and not everybody's going to know how to stage. You don't need to know how to freaking stage. You need to know the resources, and you need to know how to put the staging into play, right? You need to know how to get that home marketed and sold. Okay, this is me yesterday. I took a quick picture. This is my toolbox. Does anybody have a pink toolkit they take with them? If you don't have a toolkit, you better have one, because when I show up, I've gotten that listing. Now I got to go back, and now it's time to get this home ready for the market. I'm coming in with my toolkit and I'm coming in and I'm going to flip this house in a matter of 2 hours. How I personally do it is I have given them a cheat sheet on that original listing appointment that I came into. I took notes, I took pictures. When it's game time to get their home ready, they have the cheat sheet. They know what they have to declutter, they know what they got to paint, they know what they got to do. Now, in certain situations, I've done
The
all that.
cheat sheet, the checklist that we added.
Yeah, and we can provide that too, kind of, because I have a lot of like little check off lists for sellers. We can get that to you guys, and it's like one of those. No matter what you give sellers, are all of them going to do it? You guys, I had somebody. This is last year. I gave them all the list. I show up. She opens the front door in this middle picture, and she goes, "Tracy, I know we're moving out. The three kids have just been super busy. They're out of school now. It's summer, and we just haven't had time to do anything you gave me." I'm like, "Oh my god, are you guys really joking right now?" And I walk in. All I do is I push up my sleeves, I throw the shit in the garage, and you just got to get it done sometimes. Sometimes you just got to push up your sleeves, you guys, because it's a matter of this was a $12,000 check versus not a $12,000 check. I could have sat there, I could have bitched, I could have said their schedule, you got to make time, we're going to push it back. I pushed up my sleeves and we got it done. And it's one of those where when you go on, like even this picture on the right, I show up, that picture on the left, that's their definition. That's their visual of what the home should look like being staged ready. I always ask them, I'm like, hey, will you take any offense if I move some things around? My goal is to make this like a model home, to neutralize it, to make any buyer that walks into this home visualize that it's theirs, right? So it's like one of those, I'm like, hey, I used to allow one family picture, you guys. Mr. Seller, I don't even allow one anymore because of the way the internet portrays every angle of the home. I don't want them to see your grandkid. I don't want them to know who you are, what religion you are, what color your skin is. I want them to visualize them and not get distracted. So I do not allow one family picture anymore. And that
It's
one
interesting
family
you say
picture,
that because I just saw a picture of a listing and the house looked really good. But the refrigerator had all the pictures on it. And I was like, oh, and I'm not usually detailed like that. I instantly was like, those photos need to be removed.
it's conversation that you just naturally have with your buyer, right? And now it's distracting you from the tile backsplash. It's distracting you from the countertops that went in. They're now visualizing the old sellers versus putting themselves in that home. So strip that shit down. Like just don't allow it and don't offend them. It's how you say it. And no matter how amazing their home is or how ugly their home is, I'm telling them it's the most beautiful home I've ever seen, right? Do they want an agent that's not going to be in love with their home? So you got to kill them with the kindness. When you're going on that tour, you got to praise them. You got to be passionate, but then you also got to say, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you declutter. We're going to move some things around in order to showcase each room in the best highlight because the internet sells all. I'm like, people are going to go on the internet. They're going to look at your home 150 times. When they come through on that tour, they're there for 15 minutes. Can they remember on that tour where I had a vase? No. Do they remember where I have that vase in that actual picture online? Oh, yeah. So it's like one of those where I am just a lot more, I would say, just very strategic for pictures, but not as crazy during showings because they're going through so quick. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now, one thing is if you guys are seeing this, can you guys see like a pattern of stage it, sell it? You are your brand, you guys. You are the power. You are the marketing billboard for your business. You have got to create this brand. You have got to create your photo. I have been using this business picture, you guys, I think for probably 8 years. It's because it's my brand. And before that, 8 years ago, I had a different colored hairdo with the same damn dress because it was my brand. Do not change your brand every 3 months. Do not change your profile pic. I want you to find the most money shot in 2024. I want you to be proud of that damn shot. I want you to have what you represent. What is your value? How can you define, if you had 1 second for 100 people to look at one image of your marketing, they had 1 second to figure out who you are and to define what your brand is. You have 1 second. Make that brand so powerful that that 1 second is the only thing they will ever remember from Tracy Frans, who stages it and sells it. And it's like, use that power, use it, and go on to the next. Or wait, hold on. See this middle picture, you guys? Let me tell you, like, when you got something so ugly that is like, I mean, ugly. All we did on that first picture from the second picture, I had them go to Home Depot and get that paint for countertops. And it might not be amazing in person. They did not have any funds, but is there a difference on that middle picture when I'm online? I mean,
100%.
it is about the visual to the eye on the internet. It doesn't have to be amazing, but if there is something that is really standing out, this was the one thing I'm like, you guys, bathrooms and kitchens sell a home. If you are not putting in every ounce of detail to maximize every single bathroom and kitchen, those homes will not sell. I don't care about the storage room. I don't care about the primary or master suite, whatever you call it nowadays. All I care about is kitchen and bathrooms because that's what sells a damn house. So if you are not stripping down that fridge, like Tanya said, if you are not taking those ugly knives off that countertop that has wood that doesn't match the cabinets, if you are not staging that table to make it feel like they want to eat at that table, you are not doing your job. And it's like, can you guys go get plates and stack them on top of each other in a kitchen table? If you look at that bottom left-hand picture, all I'm doing is taking plastic white plates, you guys, with a little marble. Stack that shit, give it some dimension, grab a centerpiece, get their ugly pictures off the wall, go to Burlington Coat Factory, go to freaking home, go to Goodwill. That's where I get all my shit because I'm cheap, right? I go to Goodwill, I'll get a piece of canvas. If it's ugly, I'm spray painting it because I'm cheap. I'll spray paint it black, white, and gold because that's my brand. So I'm going to stage like my brand. You have to be this walking billboard. If you have 20 minutes and you're passing a Goodwill and you have nothing else to do, why not jump in and get $10 worth of a staging stuff and throw it in your back so you're ready for that next listing? You're visualizing that next listing you don't even have. So you're going in there, you just found this green plant with a white vase for $2 and you're like, damn, I'm going to get that in a $500,000 listing next week. You have to just be the person that is the change and making these homes look freaking beautiful. Now, here's your little secret. Okay, let's say you got a vacant home that is just ugly. All right. You don't want to spend $5,000 for a stager to come in and stage it for 4 weeks. Who's ever been to a rental furniture store? Has anybody so Ace Rent to Own? This is one that's in our town. This is local. I can go in there, you guys. 2 weeks ago, I got an investor I'm doing some flips on, and man, his flips are ugly. So I got to cover up some of this stuff, right? I mean, my floors are like this, so I'm like getting tables that are going to put some stuff underneath it to level it out. But if I don't stage that, it's going to be so distracting to the eye on the finishing touches that I had to stage it. So I go into Ace Rent to Own. I picked out a living room. I picked out a kitchen. I picked out a primary room because it was a 1.5 story. I got end tables. I got lamps. I basically told them my investor is going to have a lot more in the pipeline, and I got a lot of more other agents that are going to need this demand. Oh, you do? Well, I have these packages, and we can even throw in like a bunch of art off the walls at no cost. If you think this investor is going to do more, or you have other agents that you could be a walking billboard for our business. Wow, this is a partnership. I went in there, you guys. Look at, if you blow that up, can you blow that up, Tanya? That one bedroom. So I got a kitchen table. I got a couch. I got a love seat. I got end tables. I got lamps. I got a master bedroom. I went and grabbed all this freaking amazing art off the walls. $289 for the entire month. And guess who doesn't have to move it? My husband doesn't have to break his back. It's like one of those, I can't tell you how many times poor Brandon has had to come home with a hurt back because I used to send him out moving some chairs. We've gotten smarter. We find these. And then I'm so cheap. Guess what? The 289, I knew my house was going to sell quicker than that. I go, hey, is there any way you would negotiate a per week deal? I got them down to $73 per week, and they'll
Oh my
renew at the end of each
gosh.
week. You guys,
Yeah. She's in there with about 4 or 5 male counter people. I just left so she could get her hustle on all cute. And by the way, we still hustle because I wrestled a damn futon out of a $180,000 house somewhere yesterday or 2 days ago. Took a break from fishing for that for your girl. So
yeah. And we wouldn't have got paid, you guys, because that was a shitty ass flip. I'm telling you, like, if I
really,
didn't get that futon in there and Brandon didn't get that damn thing like positioned right, that shit would never sold.
and I
You
get it
gotta turn
home, and
gold.
I get it home, and she goes, "This is the flip the dead cat died in, and I think it peed on it." So that's what I was sniffing around this morning with my daughter. So, I mean, if you don't live this life, then you can't do it. That's another thing we talked about yesterday. If you don't live this lifestyle, if you don't really like this stuff, if you don't really like staging, go do something else.
Yeah.
Your
Let me ask you
sellers
a
need
question about
you.
this. So, what if you have a seller that has terrible furniture, right?
Yeah.
What are your conversations? And like, if you were to say, "Hey, I'm going to stage just the main areas," what would you do there? Because they have a great house, but just like old furniture, terrible. Talk to us about that.
And like if anybody has an address that's not selling, feel free to put it in the comments and we can pull it up and do a quick little makeover. So if anybody has a listing that's not selling and it's ugly, please put it in there. Okay, so the key is I don't care how ugly that couch is. I can distract around it. I don't want them to have to move their big furniture. They don't have anywhere to put that big shit, but I'm going to get the little stuff out. If they got things that are mixed matched, too many end tables, too many pieces, first it's use the garage as the storage unit. It's one of those, especially in the summer, fall, and spring. I don't care how full that garage is. You stuff that thing with anything extra that is just too heavy in the area. And then what it is, it's bringing in a few designer pillows, make it pop, make those pillows match a piece of canvas, distract your eyes away from the couch, get the designer pillows, get a designer one piece of canvas, that's $20, put it on the wall, take that ugly ass table that I just want to barf on, but I'm basically saying, oh, your eye for design. This is going to be such good teamwork. You have got to fake it. You got to still make them think you love that table, but damn it, I am going to double my freaking, what you call it? What comes under the plates? Your,
Yeah, I can't even think, but I know what you're talking about.
like not a tablecloth, but the placemats. I always use placemats. The next time you're at Walmart, Target, Walmart has amazing metallic placemats. I get a bunch of circles and there's like, it's almost dimensional. And I will like put a silver, like straight solid placemat, put a gold, like cool, like wire one over it. Then I'll double up the plates and then a centerpiece and more volume. Now, is anybody even seeing that table now? I just put 6 placemats down, 6 sets of tape of just white plates, white bowls on it, throw some maybe napkin holders, a centerpiece, couple things out. Now they can't see that ugly table. Now, if the chairs are that bad and it's a $500,000 home, I may just bring in some chairs. It's like, or you tell them go get the chairs and then they can take them back. I'll have sellers go get shit and take it back. It's like one of those, if you think it's going to help, tell them it's teamwork. Do they want to get their home sold? Yes. They want your guidance. But like on a kitchen too, when it's countertops and it is so ugly and the backsplash, do you guys ever have a backsplash that has the tile that the seller did it and the caulk is like heavier than the tile itself? Okay. What am I going to do? I'm going to put a damn silver tray on that whole backsplash. I'm going to put a cutting board going up. I am going to hide that shit, you guys. Hide it. It's like, put things against it. And there's so, like, the cutting boards are so hot, like right now, bringing in that natural wood. I'll get a silver big platter. I'll get a plastic black and white plaid tray. And then I'll put a pop of green and another little silver. Always decorate in threes. But if you got ugly shit, put shit in front of it. And it's like,
Yeah.
it when it comes to rugs too, like I'll pick up rugs a lot because it cuts up the rooms, and it really like chops up rooms when you have rugs down. So if you want that room to look expansive, make it look bigger, pick those damn rugs up.
So just for the sake of time, while you're talking about listings and getting them sold, what is your strategy for price reductions? So you priced the house right. You thought you priced it right. It's been on the market. What is your conversation about price reductions? And what is your strategy there?
And again, this is a chess game, right? I wanted to already have these conversations before I even got there. So I set them up for their expectations. And if you're in a position right now where the home's not selling, take yourself out of it. Hey, Mr. Seller, typically, after 6 to 8 showings, if you have not got any offers, it's either going to be price, condition, location, or the agent you select. Well, we already know you got the number one agent sitting right in front of you, so we know that's not the deal. We know you already got an amazing location and this area is just hopping. So now we're down to 2, right? We're either price or condition, Mr. Seller. The feedback's been on paint. Would you prefer to potentially take the market or the house off the market, put more money into the paint to increase that condition? Or should we price the home accordingly to the feedback since it hasn't got any offers? Give them a choice, but it's like there's 4 reasons it hasn't sold, right? Price, location, condition, or the agent you select. So now we got to figure out what's been the feedback after 6 to 8 showings. It's got to be one of those because no one's wrote an offer. And so by the time you get to like day 12, you're becoming the old listing, right? You've lost that prom moment. Now you need to relight that fire. Typically what I'll do is I'll set them up where, Mr. Seller, what we're going to need to do now is now we're going to either have to improve the condition or now we need to get in front of a new buyer's pool. If we're at 385,000, if I go down to 380, Mr. Seller, I don't think we're going to get in front of any new buyers. I think we're still going to be in the same position as we were. I think in your position, in order to get into that next buyer's pool and increase that interest and activity, we got to go to 375. Since we've now had 6 to 8 showings, we're 12 days on market. Letting another day go by could potentially make you even older on the market. Are you ready to be aggressive and get down and create more interest and activity and open it up to a whole new buyer's pool at 375, Mr. Buyer or Mr. Seller? So you have to have kind of a strategic plan of where you want them to go with that price. If they never want to do an adjustment, even doing it for $1 can recycle it on the internet. So sometimes I'll do something random. If they're stubborn, they don't want to do anything, I'll be like, all right, hey, how about we shift it this week? Moving the pictures, changing the marketing does increase your algorithm and get you to the top on homes not sitting. So if you are not changing your pictures up, if you are not changing marketing almost every 3 to 4 days, you are getting lost in the algorithm. Make sure you're doing these adjustments. And do make sure you're on a timeline where I usually do a price reduction within 12 to 14 days, if not more, closer to 10. After that price reduction, if we don't sell that next window, now I'm going to my 3rd backup plan. We are going to have to do something on potentially the condition. We're going to remove this from the market. We are going to relaunch this as brand new, wipe your days on market, and reattack. So first, go after the price. Second, prepare them. We've already now had this showings based on the feedback. We need to keep this momentum going strong. This is when we're going to want to do the price adjustment. Are you going to be ready for that if we don't have any business at that time? Then, all right, now it's time. That bathroom you didn't want to paint, it's just been, everybody's been saying it. How about we get Juan in there, paint the bathroom real quick. Let's flip that off. I'm going to reshuffle the front pictures. And now we're going to reattack brand new on the market at a new price. Are you ready, Mr. Seller, to reattack and keep this momentum going strong?
I love it. I love it. And by the way, it's 10 o'clock, top of the hour. So want to be respectful of everybody's time. Yet a few more things to chat about. And then if you are with Grow and you are with our organization, we have all of these. We have her listing presentation. Our whole group has been using her listing presentation, home staging checklist and all that. So I'm going to go back.
And if you guys haven't taken the success test, I would love to offer that for you guys being on today. This is something I'm giving back to all the agents that we're connected to. So if you're on today, feel free, take a picture of this. This is a QR code. It'll go to a 15-minute assessment. This is diving deeper within yourself, 384 traits, behaviors, and motives of how you work. What are your superpowers? This will kick an email to me. I'll kick it back to you. This is all complimentary for you guys being on today, because together we are stronger.
Yes, less stress, more
Yeah.
success. Thank you, Tracy.